Hey, what's going on, guys? Listen, I know you're gonna hear a bunch of noise, but I did that on purpose because I want you to see this. You see that right there? They are building the building right there. And I am in downtown High Point, North Carolina. And the reason I'm here is because, A, I own property here, right around the corner. I mean, literally a stone's throw from downtown. I was behind this building, as a matter of fact. And B, I'm telling you that because this is the furniture capital of the world. This is where they have the furniture market. And so what is interesting about downtown High Point is that you'll see a lot of these large, ornate, opulent buildings that are only open twice a year for furniture market. Now, that may not mean anything to you, but what it means to me is that they make so much during this 2-week period out of each year that they can afford to rent these huge spaces, and these are some small buildings, that they can afford to keep paying a yearly lease on these huge buildings or building these buildings for 2 weeks of business. Think about that for a minute. So what that tells me is there are business models out here where they compress time. What do I mean by that? Well, they make a lot of money in a short period of time. And I think that is the ultimate business model because you're not trading time for money. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that right there. Now, mind you, it is a weekday. It's 1 o'clock on a weekday. None of these businesses are open. None of them. Because they only open twice a year. Look, another showroom. And these are the small buildings. Yeah. These are the small buildings. These are the storefronts. So they pay for these storefronts year round just so they can utilize them twice a year. But that tells me that they're making enough in those 2 weeks out of the year. Look at that. To justify this. Because not only are they breaking even, not only are they making enough to pay their rent, to pay their expenses. See, of course, they want to make a profit. Now, let me tell you something. There's a Rolls Royce, there's a Bentley dealership right down the street. Now, there are 2 bigger cities that neighbor this that don't have a Bentley dealership. They're building a Tesla dealership right on that street right there. And this is a much smaller city. So what does that tell you? You think Tesla and Bentley don't know the demographics? They don't know the money here? They didn't choose to build one in Winston-Salem. They didn't choose to build one in Greensboro, which are 2 much bigger cities. They chose to build it here, where businesses open. Look, there's a Tesla right there. Where businesses open twice a year. Think about that. How much revenue must be coming through? Oh, see that building right there? You see this big building right here, huge. Let me get closer. That big building right there. That's on the same street with my property, as a matter of fact. That tells me that's another building. That's another building. Closed for the year. That tells me that these businesses know that these businesses, for those 2 weeks, generate enough revenue for them to put their Bentley dealership here and their Tesla dealership here, because look at this. Look at it. Look at it, closed on a weekday. I want you to just look at this now. Look, showroom, I hope you can see it. Dark, it's closed, there's no security here. Beautiful building. I mean, this is a building that someone could use year round, but they only use this building. Look, this is a massive building. They're only using this building twice a year. This big building, look how big it is. Look at it. So you know what that tells me? That these may be good customers for me. Because if they're willing to spend this kind of money on businesses, on structures that they're only utilizing twice a year, how much are they willing to spend on their marketing in order to multiply the earnings that they're making? Think about that for a minute. You see, those are how you solve problems. You know, they don't worry about, I'm sure they're not worried about the price. They're worried about the outcome. And if you can add 30% to their bottom line by showing them how to maybe create better marketing channels, then guess what? I don't think they'd have a problem paying you for something that works year round as opposed to something that they only use twice a year. Think about that. These people have the money. Stop marketing your business to people who don't have the money. People who spend $500 with you, and that's 10% of their paycheck. They're gonna want you to solve every problem short of world hunger. Look, see this building right here? Look at this. Now this building, they got smart. And they have some different buildings, and they have some different businesses other than just furniture businesses, which is why you see these 2 cars. 2 cars for this big building. Look at it. Hancock Moore. So most of these are furniture. Most of these are furniture companies. Listen, guys, I'm telling you, change your mindset. Change your customer base. Everybody's not your customer, okay? Everyone's not your customer. Make this your customer. Make somebody like this your customer. Someone who does not mind spending money to create value and to create revenue for their business. The trick is you need to acquire the skill set in order to make them want to be your customer. You're not trying to convince them. You're just showing them what you can already do. And I'm sure if you can make these people money, they will not have a problem spending money with your company. Look, I have a property. So I'm on the street where my property is. It's on this street right here. And it's a short-term rental. And guess who my customers are? People that come here to buy furniture, to buy from distributors. This is a big deal. This is the biggest furniture marketing trade expo in the world. Guys, there are cars all over this place for those 2 weeks. Although I don't build my business model strictly around this, I know the power of this. If someone is willing to come here and pay for a building, an entire building, to utilize it 2 weeks out of the year, then I'm sure I can offer them some value. Look at that. I can offer them some value that pays them and creates value for their business 24/7, 365 per year. That's all I'm saying. Become the solution, guys. It's you. I'm out.